I'd like to take a verse from 1 Peter 1, verse 2, that says, "Grace and peace be yours in abundance." You know, there are roughly 300 billion with a B emails sent worldwide every day. The average American worker spends nearly 30% of their time on emails alone. I certainly see this in my own life. My workday productivity, if I'm not paying attention, can easily go down the email black hole and never be heard of again. A pastor friend of mine made a conscious decision a few years ago to sign off his emails with grace and peace, imitating that salutation of Peter's letter. It's a wonderful way to remind another soul of grace and peace that we have in Jesus. Now, that expression combines both a Greek blessing and a Jewish blessing, grace being the Greek and Jewish peace, greeting, and it summarizes our foundations as Christians. Grace being the unmerited favor of God, and peace being the sense of wholeness and well-being we experience when we enter into a relationship with God through faith in Jesus Christ. To put it another way, peace is the byproduct of truly encountering the amazing, life-changing power of Jesus' grace. One of the reasons my heart latched on to this greeting is somewhat of an unusual context. Listen to how he describes the circumstances of the people he writes to in 1 Peter 1:6. He says, "You suffer grief in all kinds of trials." You see, he says all kinds of trials. It's like a tagline to what we're living through right now, doesn't it? Whether it's big or small or sudden or long-lasting, we can attest to all the adversity that comes in our lives. Whether it's in all shapes or sizes, all of this is what we're going through right now. Further, it's often not just one trial that robs us of our peace. It's often a combination of a lot of trials hitting us at one time. Whether it's health, whether it's our family, whether it's relationships, whether it's financial trials, the lists of challenges go on and on and on. Realizing the recipients of this letter are thick in suffering, how can Peter greet them with the phrase grace and peace? Well, let me answer that. Peter is not being inconsiderate. Rather, he is pointing them to a reality that is truly possible to possess grace and peace in the middle of all the trials of your life. He isn't just wishing a little dab of grace and a little dab of peace here and there. Peter is saying it's yours in abundance. He's saying, peace be yours in abundance. The English Standard Version says, peace be multiplied to you. Peter is desiring that we may experience a multiplication of grace and peace all throughout our trials. In other words, when we cast our cares on Christ, that's when the peace and grace of God happen to us. For the abundance of trials in our life, there is also an abundance of grace and peace. Now, that doesn't mean that the trial instantly disappears. It means the trial will never outgrow the grace and peace that is available to us through Jesus Christ. It means that we can walk in grace and peace in the mess that is our life. Now, I don't know about you, but I need to be reminded of that over and over again. So allow me to sign off this week's video with these two words: grace and peace.